You're listening to Emerson Whitner's NXT Report on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is your NXT audio update for Wednesday, May 6, 2015. My name is Emerson Whitner of the Wrestling Outsiders Podcast, and thank you for listening. In case you like what you're listening to, like I said, I do a podcast every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time at blogtalkradio.com/wrestlingoutsiders. You can go there right now and listen to last night's episode where we reviewed the TNA One Night Only Hardcore Justice show. That is up along with all 59 of our prior episodes. On to NXT this week, which did a good job of building up the main matches for the NXT TakeOver show in 2 weeks. The show kicked off with a match with Emma and Charlotte. Emma, I think, has officially made her heel turn, as when she came out to her funky music. She didn't do her dance. She didn't do the big pull-up when she went to get into the ring. She just got in there and smirked at the fans. She was wearing Bayley's shirt and headband that she stole last week. I think Charlotte, unfortunately, has absolutely no direction now that she's not champion. They did set her up with a new program this week, and I'll get to that later, my thoughts on that. The match began with Emma ducking around Charlotte, and it led to perhaps the most unique move I've seen in a few weeks. Emma was standing on the ring apron and put the upper half of her body through the top and middle rope. Charlotte got tired of waiting, so she walked over and threw Emma's head down on the mat. But when Emma's head went down, her feet went up and clocked Charlotte on the back of the head. Emma at one point put on the half crab. I was completely distracted because Charlotte was wearing gear that had glitter all over it, and the glitter came off all over the mat, and so the entire night there's just glitter all over the place. I hope that they replace that mat by next week, but I guess we'll find out. Anyway, despite working on the knee the entire match, Charlotte just stopped selling it at one point and hit natural selection for the win. They played the same Becky Lynch hype video as they played last week, which was then followed by a sit-down interview with Michael Cole and Kevin Owens. Cole kept asking Owens why he did what he did to Sami Zayn. Owens toed his line about how he did this for his family, and being an NXT champion, he'd be able to provide more for his family, make more money, become a bigger name because of it. Michael Cole felt that this was bull and kept trying to egg him on and get a real answer out of him, and Owens just sat there smirking at him. Owens pointed out that in 2 months, Michael Cole has never congratulated him on winning the title, nor shown him any respect in becoming champion. Cole apologized and congratulated him and kept pressing him for an answer to why he did what he did to Sami Zayn. Cole pointed out several times in the show that Sami Zayn was the best man at Kevin Owens' wedding. Owens pointed out that all Cole is looking for, like all journalists, he's looking for a headline, and he wants the headline to come out tomorrow and read that Owens angrily backstabbed Sami Zayn, his best friend, but instead the headline is going to be Owens provides for his family, and that was the end of that. That then gave us Rhino versus Bull Dempsey. Rhino won in less than a minute. I noticed that Rhino looks like he's gained a little weight, maybe around 15 pounds. I know I'm the pot calling the kettle black when I talk about people gaining weight, but hey, just pointing out he looks a little pudgier around the midsection this week. This match, the fans were really into this really short match. Rhino hit his belly-to-belly and a gore for the win. By the way, speaking of belly-to-bellies, I forgot to mention that after the women's match with Emma and Charlotte, Bayley came down, picked Emma up, and gave her a really big hug. However, Bayley wouldn't let go of the hug and gave her the belly-to-Bayley suplex, much to the fans' delight. Charlotte did come down and kept trying to pull Bayley off, so that might be setting up a future program as well. But the key story being Bayley took her shirt and her headband back. By the way, Rhino did take the mic after his match and challenged Baron Corbin to a match at TakeOver, so that's a given. Sasha Banks was backstage saying that Fabulous Moolah was the greatest diva in WWE history until Sasha came along. Sasha gave Becky Lynch credit for being great, but she brought Becky to NXT and plans on making everyone forget about her. This next segment, I'm sure there's however many people listen to this. I don't know, about 200 people usually listen to these audio updates. I think 180 people are about to yell at me because William Regal was milling around backstage when a large, bald black man walked in and signed his NXT contract. They then aired a 1 to 2 minute music video on him talking about how he's now here in NXT and wants to be champion, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And at no point did they ever say who this man was. And I don't watch indies enough to have any idea who this guy is. And so all I know is that he's a black man with a bald head. So that really narrowed it down, I thought. Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson came out for a match with Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy. Enzo and Colin's music played twice, but instead of them coming out, we went to the backstage where Buddy Murphy and Wesley Blake were putting the boots to Enzo and Colin while Carmella stood there with a thumb up her butt and asked them to stop. I'm still convinced Carmella's turning heel out of all this. A Sami Zayn sit-down interview aired. Sami said the main difference between him and Kevin Owens is that Kevin is a liar. Sami pointed out that this is personal and he plans on fighting fire with fire, and that this entire situation bothers him, and it bothers him more that Kevin won't tell him what it's about. Next week, Sami's going to go to the ring and wants Kevin to come out, look him in the eye, and tell him why he's done what he's done. They did air a brief video of Sami Zayn versus John Cena for Monday. They mentioned they do not know the status of Sami and his shoulder, but hope to have an update next week on the show. Hopefully the prognosis that we read on Angry Marks yesterday about Sami Zayn being out for weeks with a separated shoulder, hopefully, knock on wood, that's not the case, but I guess we'll find out, won't we? They then did a contract signing for the women's title match with Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch. Becky, this was not her best night, at least on the mic. Becky was supposed to cut a promo about how she's done all these horrible jobs in her life to build up getting here, but she kept stumbling over her words and mumbling and just seemed totally lost out there. But then she signed. Sasha used her stamp to sign and then threw the contract at Becky and then threw Becky over the table. Sasha at one point stood on the table, raised the belt up high. She threw the table over and just continued to be very cockily stand above Becky Lynch. And, of course, all she did to Becky was throw over the table. So Becky recovered from this horrible maneuver and took Sasha down and slapped on an armbar, which caused Sasha to do the tap out. Alex Riley cut a pre-taped video promo. He mentioned he's going to have a second knee operation. He talked about how he's taken all these risks in his WWE career. He talked about leaving The Miz when he was The Miz's assistant. He talked about leaving the announce table when he had this nice cushiony job, and then wondered if all these risks were really worth it, pointing out that when Kevin Owens laid him out with a power bomb to the ring apron last week, the fans weren't chanting for Alex, they were chanting, "Thank you, Owens." And then the show ended with Sami Zayn as the main focus of the show, and Alex realized that, maybe all these risks aren't worth it. And he did vow that we will not see Alex for a while, at least partially due to his knee surgery he's going to be getting later on this month. Dana Brooke was backstage cutting a promo, wondering why Charlotte's in the WWE tap-out commercial instead of her. Unfortunately, this is now going to set up a match I really don't want to see, But keep in mind, every Dana Brooke match is a match I don't want to see. And then in the main event, in the 84th part of their Best of 2107 series, Hideo Itami defeated Tyler Breeze again to go up 83-1 in their series, ending Tyler Breeze's winning streak at 1. Finn Balor came out before the match to sit ringside, not a commentary, mind you, but to sit at the timekeeper's table. Come on, who's not seeing an angle coming here? This match was not very good. I can't imagine. I don't know what all they taped, so I couldn't tell you, like, if they just have a boatload of stuff coming up next week that they weren't putting forth their best effort because they had to go all out next week or whatever. But these two have been much better in the past. I'm sure they'll do much better in the future, especially in 2 weeks. But this match was crap. They stalled for 2 or 3 minutes at the start of the match. When they started actually wrestling, it had a lot of nerve holds and a lot of chin locks and rest holds. There was just nothing about this match that was really exciting until the finish. The finish saw them fight outside the ring, and Hideo went to kick Breeze, but Tyler moved, so Hideo kicked Finn, and Finn went flying through the barricade. They got back in the ring, where Hideo immediately gave Tyler the running kick and won the match. After the match, Finn and Hideo had a stare down, so Breeze attacked Hideo from behind. Finn got in the ring and threw Breeze down. He went then to pick Itami up, so Breeze ran and gave he gave Balor the supermodel kick and gave Itami the beauty shot, and the show ended with him left standing. So, setting up the three-way at the pay-per-view. I don't know, maybe I'm just being hard on that match, but I just know that they can do better, and I thought that both felt this match was a waste of time and didn't put forth their best effort. Well, that does it for me this week. Next week's the go-home show. 2 weeks is TakeOver, and I'll probably be doing, I will be doing a full review of TakeOver in 2 weeks. We'll see how that goes. My brother will probably join me for that one. But until then, I will see you around, and thank you everyone for listening.